took the music industry and made it pay them.
Yes.
I love Gladys Knight, but she didn't get paid like that.
Yep.
So we shouldn't condemn our children for what they learn, because what they didn't learn is what we didn't teach them.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the things that we have to look at, because veterans can still help some of our at-risk youth. You know, I think about Lewis, and you know, most of the time when he left home going to school, he gonna come by my house. If I left home going, well, we wasn't no gang.
No.
You know, we wasn't no gang. That was just my buddy. You know, we just walked together. We might go to the park, go to the movie together. We ain't going to no fight together. We're not going to steal together. We're not going to. This is what we're doing today, is we're looking at historically where we're going to right now, because I saw some stuff on the news in Tennessee that broke my heart. But then that 2 days later, a few days later, it inspired my conscience. You know, to see that we still have people gravitating toward government that are dictators, cold dictators, like the slave master, plantation.
Yep.
As long as you do what they tell you to do when they tell you to do, you okay. You step out of line, boy, I got you.
Yep.
But you know, as saying, these young people rally the community. That's people power.
Yes.
That's what we got to get back to straighten up this thing. People power.
The interesting thing about that is, yes, those two young men were black and one white woman, but she didn't get removed from the city.
And that's what made this go viral.
Yes.
You know, that's what made everybody say, wait a minute, man, y'all ain't gonna do that in my face.
Yes. And they, unfortunately, in years past, they could do that and get away with it.
That was the way of life for them.
Yes.
So we're dealing with the slave master's children.
Yes.
Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can deal with it better.
Yes.
You know, it ain't all white people.
No. No.
Because, I mean, if it had been Tony, we'd have been lynched the other day. We'd have been cold lynched, bro. You know, but we had camaraderie.
Yes. Yes. So that there is a portion of the community that is concerned about the rest of the community.
The rest of the community.
You have take their legislature. It's all Republicans, but there were members of that Republican administration which saw the error of their ways and listened to the attitude and the petition and the calls for equal treatment under the law. And once it was brought to their attention, they realized the error of their decision and they reversed it.
Yes.
You know, which is at least they were able to recognize and correct it, as opposed to standing strong and not giving in to the requirements of those people who voted them into office. We got to learn, we've got to remember that as voters, we have a lot of power.
That's why we're talking about, do veterans vote?
There you
matter?
go. I was working my way.
You know, see, what we done start doing, we got some people in Congress right now, Kenny, Tony, that's trying to tax veterans' disability compensation. But they won't tax the super rich.
No.
And we keep electing them. Now I say we keep electing them, and I want to say that the way I think probably Robert E. Love might talk about it.
Right, yes.
We keep electing them because we're not responsible. We don't know what we're doing.
Right.
You know, we need to know what we're doing. We need to know who we're voting for.
Exactly, yes.
You know, and they need to know who they working for.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I saw happen in Tennessee. That was the inspiration after the big blow up, because I was mad.
Yeah.
I done got mad, man. I said, I don't want to be no angry old man, I'm trying, Lord, I'm a preacher. I ain't supposed to be doing all that. I need to be love and peace.
Yeah.
That just tore up my. But then when the backlash
Yes.
woke up America.
Yeah.
It inspired more than me. Because, I'm on the phone with veterans every day and talking to them about this, and they said, man, we do need to do something about these automatic weapons in the street. A lot of us say, well, I don't want to get that's politics. No, it's not. It's survival.
Yes.
It done passed the politics. We just got some people that we have elected because we want community. We want to become a community. We got some people over here and some people over there, and we ain't talking to each other. But we suffer from the same problem.
That's it. Exactly. Yes.
We got the same enemy. And I'm gonna call these veterans out, those that pledge to defend this country and its people against all enemies, foreign or domestic.
Yep.
We got some domestic enemies.
Yes.
That done infiltrated our governments, and we need to go to work to get them out. And I ain't talking about Tennessee.
No.
You better watch my home state.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
We need to change some stuff up under the Golden Dome, because we got one of them carry laws and that I done seen that I hate to see it. You got these little boys walking around with a pistol hanging out of their pocket.
Yeah.
They packing and killing each other like dogs. See, we got to get that too. Mama, let me tell you something about my mama. I remember when I was growing, I think I was about 13 years old, everybody was getting a little switchblade knife, right? I know I couldn't take nothing in the house.
Yeah. I
know better, because she was like the police. She'd shake me down, make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I hid it up under the house where the lawnmower was. Now, the lawnmower I'm talking about was one of them push mowers. ain't no pull and push. This is one of them push things with the blades rolling over. And yeah, that. My mama checked that out. I didn't stick the knife up under the house because I know I couldn't take it in the house,
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm safe, right? Elson, what's this?
Yes.
Don't lie.
Your brief life flashed before your eyes.
Right then and there. She took it. She confiscated like the police should do some of these guns. And some of these mamas should do with their children, bringing guns in their homes. We got to understand that these problems that we're having in the community are veterans' problems too.
Yeah.
We might just be veterans talking to veterans about all things veteran in the community, but we are community.
We are a part of the community.
We're part of the community, and we need to become an asset to the community now.
Yes.
We need to be an asset to our community because we have some attributes that can save it. That can save it. I mean, we going back to see our friends in Dunwoody in May. For them to embrace a memorial that we've been running around town trying to get black people to see. Just go to the website, look at it. It's a monument unlike any other in the country. It's an open air memorial in Piedmont Park, which you can visit 24/7 to pay homage to these people. And it says unemphatically, freedom is not free.
Yeah.
In my hometown, right downtown, I got veterans that are homeless. I got people that are homeless. And my governor, ain't my governor whether I voted for him or not, said he had $7 billion surplus in the budget. That's surplus. And he drives every day to the Capitol right past them folks. We got more empty buildings in this city than we got homeless people. And then I know something else. We got some units, some military units that'll come in there and build a tent overnight that will house a whole bunch of folks.
Yeah.
Why are we looking at our people homeless?
Yeah. And it's not just the military. These are just regular citizens. And so we should all be treated equally. If there is funds that the government has and they're returning it to taxpayers, you know, I would venture to say there is a portion of that community that knew that those funds would be used to benefit the homeless.
The whole community.
You know, it's one of those things where some would say, probably not most, I'm willing to give up that, I think it's $250 if it goes toward helping the homeless. You know, and when you help the homeless, you're going to help the veterans.
Well, see, what we had to look at, we you know, Manny told us something about politics.
Yeah.
He said this, and I don't know whether we heard him or not. It's all about the control and distribution of the wealth.
That's it.
The tax dollar.
Yep. You're right.
The tax dollar. See, and we learned from some of the people that we have had as public servants, and not just politicians. You know, politicians would, you know, they up there for the money. They just totally up there for the money. The NRA done bought most of the Republicans and part of the Democrats.
Yeah.
You know, because I listen, and my research tell me that organization is funded by Russia, China, dictatorships. Who run the gun industry?
Yes.
The
The manufacturers.
That's who run the gun industry.
Yep.
And what we gonna have to do is stop participating. Dr. King said that you can stop participating.
Yep.
You know, you can stop. You know, they can't make you participate. What they gonna do? They gonna beat you and make you stand in line for some $300 tennis shoe that you can't. I want y'all to stop. Listen. This is Veteran Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon because we're here doing community. We got some people in the audience today I want to recognize and you know, let them talk about themselves. But we're gonna do this after a brief commercial break. Joe, can we get some change for a minute? A commercial break.
Tired of skincare products that don't work? Looking for a natural treatment for razor bumps, dark spots, pimples, and eczema? With Corrective Skincare, discover the quick and easy way to eliminate your skin problems. Visit our skincare center for a consultation or shop online at Corrective. Tired of skincare products that don't work? Looking for a natural treatment for razor bumps, dark spots, pimples, and eczema? With Corrective Skincare, discover the quick and easy way to eliminate your skin problems. Visit our skincare center for a consultation or shop online at correctiveskincare.net.
Okay. We're back here again. We got some folks in the audience I want to recognize. Kenny is always here with us. We know that's who we was talking about when we was talking about Folk Garden. Then Captain Tracy is with us today. Tracy is, you know, a brother that was an officer in the military, served in Special Forces, and been low rated by the VA. So I want to thank y'all for being here, brothers. Like you always be out in the community trying to help make things. Then we got some ladies. We got one lady here, man, that's birthday. So we want to just say happy birthday to this lady. She's the president. I want you to tell me something about yourself. Then we got another lady that called me and say Val, and I'm gonna get Val because she's supposed to be here today.
She tried real hard.
Yeah, I know.
She really did.
You know, she got to stop overloading. You know, sometimes we overload. That's what I do that sometimes, so I know it happens.
Yes.
You know, but anyway, introduce yourself, please.
Well, my name is Crystal Strickland. I am with Will Invest Outreach.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Martina Robinson, and I'm the president of Will Investment.
Okay.
And part of co-founder of Black Women's Lab. Been working in the community going on maybe 40 years.
Yeah.
Doing a mission for God, for the homeless. From self-destruction to self-love.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Man, God bless you, man. You are beautiful lady, and you're doing some great stuff. You know, we got to always care for the least of these.
Yes.
And you know, one of the things that I want to commend you with being able to do this, The one person that I have always admired is Jose's daughter. She, just been outstanding with that issue. And we are a member of an organization. We run the Veteran Affairs Committee for Concerned Black Clergy of Atlanta. So they are advocates for homeless veterans, for homeless people, period.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we are trying to do in that organization is bring the veteran ministries to work and this issue. One of the things that I witnessed is when we were running around trying to deal with the government is that they putting out a lot of resources, a lot of money going into homelessness, but it don't change the homeless.
True.
And being a preacher, I'm seeing how that works. We need to have more people in the community that live in the community, that's really, getting those funds for those issues. Now we are trying to probably for the first time in my career, we started lobbying the government. My organization traditionally don't take government money. But we learned that, this is not government money, this is taxpayers' money. So it should be going back to where the taxpayers need it to go. We just got a system now that we have elected to have, and I think it's the best system structured on planet Earth. But we don't engage it the way it needs to be engaged with our vote and with our concerns for our community, like you're doing. You got to engage these people for those funds that they are allocating from our tax dollars, and we want to make sure that you do, because we both of us sit on Fulton County Veteran Empowerment Commission, and we're getting all this information all the time about funds, and it's going the wrong way. It's just going the wrong way. I'm not going to bite my tongue because it hurt. What I see in my community bothers me. Because this is my hometown. I love Atlanta. I love the people here because I know that there are people that, some of the best people in the world, and we are plagued with violence in our community that I didn't see growing up. Yes. So I'm calling up on the community. Let's find out why and deal with this, because what is happening, it is causing it's the trickle down economics that we have to suffer. So it's critical that we start businesses, especially in our community, because right now we are economically occupied community. Everybody that's in my community, when they go home at night, when they close the door, they leave my community. That means they're taking my money. I'm not against anybody doing business in our community, don't get me wrong. But there got to be some give back in that community where you're doing business.
Yes.
You got to be some respect for the people in that community where you're doing business. You can't treat them like thieves when they come in your store.
That is so true.
We got to develop a better relationship so these economics that's being developed in our community is shared with our community. It's Veteran Talk. Crystal, tell me some more about what you do. I'm a preacher, so y'all had to deal with it.
No, this actually need to be heard, so I really appreciate this talk because a lot of people are not aware of this. This is one of the reasons what made my passion with the homeless and also our homeless veterans and also homeless children as well too that's out here on the street. I have learned there's over 58,000 seniors in the state of Georgia are facing homelessness. Like, it just blows your mind. And I truly believe, picking back on what you said, is that if we take care of the homeless, we are also taking care of our vets as well too. And so what we believe at Will Invest Outreach, we believe in going out in the community, helping our veterans and our homeless, feeding them hot meals every other week, encouraging them, having events for them, partnering with other organizations so we can maximize the giving in the community, because I only can reach so many people, I only know so many people. But if I partner with you or you, now we have your territory, this territory, and now we're able to pull more resources in to give to more people. And that's one thing that we love to do as well too. Our goal is we're looking to be able to house the homeless, get to the point where we can provide a building where they can come and shower twice a week and wash their clothes. Also provide them a hot meal, and then putting them in wraparound services where we have other places where they can actually come and stay. And when they say, you know what, I'm tired, I want to change, we want to be able to have transitional housing for them, to actually have a stepping stone to actually get them out of homelessness. Because you said something, Reverend McGee, that really just set the tone, is that we really are seeing money coming in, but we are not seeing people out of homelessness. I've been feeding the homeless for over 12 years. And my pastor, Dr. James Allen Milner, he stated to me, he said, the difference between what you do and I do, he said, I'm helping people get off the street. You going to feed them. He said, you probably been feeding the same people for years and years and years. He said, what we do is we go in and we not only feed them, but we try to get their mental health together. Because a lot of people are homeless are not on drugs.
Yeah. Well, let's say this. We're going to get you on the show.
Yes.
But what we want to be able to do is we do what you're saying now. We want to make veterans organizations, veterans period, an asset to the community, because we bring a lot to the table, you know, but we're sitting back and, you know, going along to get along. So we're trying to talk these guys out of their little cocoons into the community. Because let me tell you something about homelessness that we could do if we had the right elected people. Most of the homeless, especially homeless veterans, I can say this because I have used this system to get them a monthly income, benefits that move them from being homeless to being homeowners. You know, but now you got this broken system of homelessness in Atlanta where, I hate to talk about it, but it keep people homeless. It just keep people homeless. It's broken. And until we acknowledge this and deal with it, it's going to continue to erode our community. It's an erosion that's taking place, and we need to understand that.
And that's true because I had a chance to work at the women's centers, you know, during the wintertime, and they open.
I love my sister's house. I used to go with them.
So I was devastated because everyone that came in, you know, they had little issues, but then I was thinking they was coming there that they can have resources and stuff when they leave. But it's no resources. It's just something for them to come and sleep on a cart and get a salami sandwich, an orange, a bag of chip, and a bottle of water. And when they leave there, it's nothing. It's
well, that's because the wrong people are getting the money
right
for this particular issue.
So my question was, what do they do when it's not cold? Where are they when it's not cold? So that was part of the mission also, to help find somewhere to put them in before they can't come out the streets.
Now, you know, you said something to me that you know, I'm a tactician, you know, and you know, I'm a person that worked for the government, and I know the government. In the state of Georgia, now Pitts told me something that I know is not true. I know the city of Atlanta got what they call surplus properties, right? These are properties that they have taken out of the use of government. And after so long, they are supposed to automatically go to a surplus register. They are available for nonprofits for little or no money. Now you can just back me up, check me out. Don't, you know, fact check me. Don't believe what I'm saying. You know, just go Google it. Google, and it's gonna come up as Georgia. It's like a shell, and it operates downward. But Fulton kind of have surplus property. Atlanta, every city got some. Well, you know, some of the newer cities probably don't because they haven't been in the operation that long. But you know, we got to start focusing community on the resources that's there and tell them how to get them. You know, and they got to do that, because you can't deal with the issues that you're trying to deal with if you don't have the resources. Right. And the resources are sitting there under your government. Yes. Your government, we the people. Yes. If we can remember that, you know, I know that a lot of folks say when they start saying we the people, they wouldn't even consider us real people, you know. But Lord God, Lord have mercy, they couldn't stop what is. You know, we're citizens. You know, in this country, it's our country, and everybody pay taxes, including the homeless. They do. They let them go in the store. They ain't got enough money to pay the tax. They ain't gonna get it.
That's so true.
So we need to stop acting like we slow.
Okay.
You know, we just got to understand. You got some brilliant people. Why you think they named Bankhead Don Holloway, Parkway? Because their brother was a brilliant lawyer. And I thank God for having the opportunity to have just gotten to know him. You know, so we've had people that come before us that could help us, and they gone. But we got a lot of people in the community now that can help us. We just got to call them out. You know, that's sad.
Yep.
But that's the truth. Because I'm gonna tell you, sometime I got a paranoia complex. You know, you get out there, you start being hit with all these negatives. You want to get away from it. You don't want to be bothered with that. But still, we got to be a community. We got to be a community where there is no lack. No, everybody got what they need. And it's plenty of that in America. If you think I'm wrong, go up and down the streets and see how many Baker torn down buildings that they done let sit up and rot. I'm not just talking about the government. I'm talking about millionaires in our community. How come somebody ain't call them folks out? Let that stuff. Come on, y'all.
Won't give it to nobody.
Come on. I'm asking where the preachers at now. Oh, we'll leave that on. This is veterans talk, right? You know, okay. They'll run me out of CBC. I don't want to get that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I got some good buddies and good friends that are preachers, man, and they work hard for their community. Believe me, you know they. So I might joke with, you know, but we got some beautiful brothers in this city that are preachers, that are pastors. They working for their flock. You know, so don't let my jokes, you know, display that, because that's not meant that, you know. But I'm a guy that believes that it's better to laugh than cry.
Yes.
You know, so you gotta keep whatever's heavy light. You know, I know when I was in Vietnam, I was little, right? I had this rucksack where, and I was an ammo bearer at the same time. I got all my stuff in the ammo. I had to throw away some of my stuff. I threw away the tent and all that other stuff, but I had to keep what I had, the food and the ammo. So sometimes we had to look at what we need and work toward that. I'm looking forward to y'all being up here on this so we can talk. And outside of this, you know, because I'm a network builder. I believe that the more of us that come together, the more power we have to accomplish the missions that we are set to do. You know, I believe I was called to do what I do. You know, I don't think that I just woke up one morning, I'm Mr. Goody Two-Shoe. I'm not that guy. Now, my mom would say, "Shut up, Elsa." She said, "You trying to make fun of everything." Well, you know, just make things light, because sometimes it's better to build bridges. You know, it's better to build bridges than to be like you might hear me joke about myself. I'm not that angry old man. You know, it's better to build bridges when you got a personality, or you present a persona of friendliness.
Yes.
You know, you can be funny without being obnoxious and, you know, insulting. You know, we was at that thing with Tony Jam. This brother was funny, and he ain't made a cuss word, did he, Tony?
Right, yeah.
He just had everybody broke up, man. So it's still a way to do things like we used to do it. It's still a way. We still got that capacity. We got to start in the household though, with this violent stuff in Atlanta, because when Tony talked, we lived in. He lived in College Park. I lived in Atlanta West Side. The community was the same. They was all segregated. He messed up down the street. His daddy saw him. He had a problem. And my daddy saw him. Listen, my daddy caught and bust me in the Palladium Club one time. I wasn't old enough. Me and my buddy got some ID. We on slipping in there. Ain't no man know my daddy. They wouldn't give us no liquor until my daddy got there.
Yeah.
He give me the keys, Elsa. Took my car keys right there in the building. You had to walk home, and then you know where that's gonna be. You miss curfew, you're gonna get beat down. But we had rules
Yes.
in the house. See, you got to raise that child to be a good person. Otherwise, folly will take over. My mom would tell me, sit down sometime. I didn't have no brothers. I was only boy with 4 sisters, and I was their clown. My mom would tell me, sit down somewhere. You just and then when they don't want to pay you no attention, you want to come in my room. Don't sit down somewhere. So we got to build our community back.
Yes.
We got to have the Atlanta that's safe, encouraging. I had a good time growing up. I didn't feel like nothing in Atlanta, man. I didn't, just because it was segregated, it didn't bother me, because I knew better than to get caught in the West End at night. Yeah. I knew where to go because Mama done told me. I remember that well. And our children don't remember this. They don't know what it feels like to be discriminated against, the way we were discriminated against. They don't know what it feels like to be on a job when you know that everybody else is getting more money than you, but you're doing the same job. And they shouldn't. I got a problem with them working 40 hours a week and can't pay rent.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't even afford to stay in a hotel.
Right.
Yes. So we got work to do. This is Veterans Talk, y'all. It ain't that but a thing. But it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon because we are here, Tony, trying to do the same thing we've been trying to do. We're trying to make sense out of this community now, though, because we're seeing stuff that's crazy. Now I'm gonna just say this for everybody to know, so it ain't no secret. I don't like abortions, right? I just don't like that. But I don't think I have a right to tell my sister what to do with her body. That's between her and the master.
Yes.
That's the checkpoint.
I agree totally with all of that.
That's the checkpoint. When we start government to invading our rights, personal rights like that, this is almost like we got people in government that got some enslavement kind of
Yes.
Mentality.
Yep. Tony, I'm gonna let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It is. You bring up an interesting topic, and we have those freedoms as citizens of the United States. However, we have a political party that wants to control what we can do and cannot do, and it's a real challenge. This was something that we learned when we were in school. One of the things, and I talked to my son about it and everything when he was in high school. We had civic classes, and so you knew what was right, what was wrong. You knew the responsibility of government. We didn't. Back then, it didn't always work for the benefit of all the people, but we saw what you can do with power, which one of the things that it encouraged us to do is to vote. That was something we found out, the power that we had as citizens to be able to vote. And so we were able to vote into office representatives that represented our interests. They weren't always given all the power that came with that office, but we were there. Unfortunately, this is not something that we do today. We're not vetting those people that we're electing to office. Or the sad part about it is we're not choosing to even vote. One of the things that I've learned as a result of being a citizen and a voting citizen is that when it comes time to vote, we all run to the office to vote for president and vice president. Elections are local. Those, they say it's as simple as if you have to vote for the dog catcher, you need to know whether that dog catcher owns dogs or he just get out there looking for a job. How he's going to treat those dogs. It's that simple. The same thing when it comes to us voting for those people who set up the laws on how we vote, when we can vote, where the voter locations are. Those are local decisions, but yet for some reason when it's time to vote, we don't vote down ballot.
We don't.
And those are the people that make decisions that directly affect our lives immediately. Once the election is over with and they're sworn in office, they decide things that directly affect us. And we as citizens choose, unfortunately, not to even vote down ballot, not to even vet those people. And so we wonder, how did they get elected? They got elected because we didn't vote for them. You know, and so it's just so important to do those little things that will directly affect us.
And Tony, can I just chime in, because what you said so powerful, man. Because what we got to realize now, Fulton County basically is supposed to control the election stuff.
Yes.
But what we've seen over the last few years is that the state got involved with more Fulton County elections. And, you know, I'm gonna just say this, and I don't care who like it. When Brian Kemp was Secretary of State, he purged
Exactly.
enough votes to lose the governorship, but he didn't. So that's all I'm saying. I just want to say amen to what you
because he purged from the voting list those people that were going to vote Democratic. And it was very strategic how he purged the voting list within the state of Georgia. And then they turned around and that Republican-led state offices gerrymandered all the voting locations, which gave voting power to a minority in a lot of areas. Those areas had minority Republican voters, but they were gerrymandered to the point to where they had power. And that's
they couldn't lose.
They could not lose. As the song said, they couldn't lose with the stuff he used. You know, and so we found ourselves in a challenging situation. But even with that, if we had stepped up and voted, we could have affected some of those gerrymandered districts so that people could get in office. But we chose not to go to the polls and vote.
And what I want to say this about Reverend Love. One of the things he used to focus on is, you know, this what you're talking about now, Tony. And I think his legacy will be that he helped build a donut. See, if we look at all these little cities around Atlanta, all of them got black mayors. Well, 2 of them don't right now.
Right now, yeah.
But, you know, that was Reverend Love's stuff.
Yeah.
You know how he would. Now he was a veteran, and I keep going back to this because I think we're missing something when we don't utilize the veterans in our community. Call them out. You got brothers, cousins, uncles. They know a lot. They can bring a lot to the table. That's why they so laid back. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved. You know, no, bro, you gonna come out. I'm gonna call you out in the grocery store, call you out in the church, call you out wherever you at, because we need a change. We need a change.
Yeah.
We cannot continue going down this road that we're on now. Our children are being killed in the street. I mean, listen, I'm a great granddaddy. Then my oldest great grandbaby, she was born on Dr. King's birthday, the day Barack became president. So she's 14 years old. So I might get to be a great granddad if I keep living. So I want them guns out of the street. I want automatic weapons put back where they need. They send them to Ukraine. They need them over there. You know, send them to Ukraine. They need them. I'm down with the tribes, so they fighting. They fighting for their freedoms. And then we're gonna start talking about, well, they sending more money to Ukraine. Listen, we better hope they do it so they can stop them, because them Russians ain't no joke. They already up and down Trump.
Yep.
They own him. And if we can't see that, I'm sorry. Ask yourself this. John McCain was, to me, one of the icons of the Vietnam era. He spent time as a prisoner of war, tortured. Donald Trump said some things about him, but he said something about Donald Trump we should never forget. I don't want you at my funeral.
Yeah. And that speaks volumes. You know, when we found out that this man was speaking from the grave, but his belief system was so strong in our government that when he saw errors, he was willing to speak out
Speak
about
out
it.
against him.
Yes.
Like he did Trump when he was trying to do away with that Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
He went in there. He was the vote that said,
The vote that saved it. Yes. Yes.
"We ain't finna do this.
Yes.
We not finna do this."
Yeah.
We cannot forget the power that we got left. The number one power is our faith in the Almighty. And then the worldly power that He's given us is the right to vote.
Yeah.
The right to vote. We need to cherish it. We need to work it. And then we need to call. We need to like I'm gonna tell you something. After watching them young folks in Tennessee, I'm gonna start encouraging more of these young people to get up and go run for office.
Yeah.
They ready. I mean, they got to be ready. Look how they stood up. They stood up and they ignited something in the people all over Tennessee.
Yeah.
All over the country, really, but in
Excellent.
Tennessee, they ignited something because these are the children. We talk about the children of our future. This is our future. These are our future young leaders. And you know, they made me feel so good after that. The people made me feel so bad. I was feeling bad, man. I was ugly. I was angry because I served in this country. In the military, I was wounded in combat. They tried to kill me. Yeah. So it's something that means something to me. I want my family and friends to be safe. I like I can remember when we were growing up, we used to have street parties.
Yes.
Whole street party at one time, and ain't nobody got killed. I want that back.
Yeah.
I want to know when my grandchildren or my children go somewhere, I'm not going to get a phone call that I don't want.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want that. I want us to have the community that I know we can have in Atlanta and in America. We got to understand what's the root cause of the problem.
Yeah.
2% ain't got no business with 90% of the wealth. That's too
Yeah.
much influence in the hands of too few. They're not going to treat the rest of us right.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Wanna close that?
It's challenging when we see that happening, you know. But we got to believe. We've got to believe. You know, those of us, we grew up in a community where we went everywhere, anytime. That was the least of our concern about our personal safety when out in public. But now, we're concerned about our safety when we're driving down the road because we have no idea what that person in the car next to us has.
And not just that, stray bullets. I had a friend that was killed on the west side with stray bullets. She was getting a half piece.
Yeah.
Bullet went in the house and killed her.
The young lady that was in bed, and the bullet went through the wall and snuffed her life away.
Yeah, we got to get the guns out of our community.
Yes, you know.
We got to get the homeless off the street.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna be working together. You know, for our community. This is about our community. You know, so you can count on Veterans Talk and Vietnam Veterans Over America. I'm the president if they don't run me off. so they listen a little bit, you know. So we just got to keep working and keep doing what we're doing now. Be in community, you know. So we gonna go to Sons of Atlanta. Let me say this: Sons of Atlanta. You're gonna regret it if you don't. I mean, if you don't go to Sons of Atlanta and get your brick now, I'm gonna tell you something. After May 2nd, they're gonna be hard to get. Because we on the other side of town, they want this project.
Yes.
They gonna put their money where their mouth is. They always do. So we can look to be in Piedmont Park on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
You know, all them high schools that ain't never been recognized. You know, all them young men that ain't never been held up in the light of their community will be held up in the light of their community. So. This is Veterans Talk. Back next week doing the same thing at the same time, at the same place. So have a good week. Safe. Peace.